Everyone connected with the case identified the knife. Now, are you really trying to tell me it fell through a hole in the boy's pocket and that someone picked it up off the street, went to the boy's house and stabbed the father with it, just to be amusing?
No, I'm just saying that it's possible that the boy lost the knife and that someone else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's possible.
Take a look at that knife. I've never seen one like it. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you asking us to accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
No, I'm not asking anyone to accept it. I'm just saying that it's possible.
And I'm saying it's not possible.
Look at it.
Be
quiet! Let's be quiet. Where did you get that knife?
I was walking for a couple of hours last night, just thinking. I walked through the boy's neighborhood. The knife comes from the little pawn shop 3 blocks away from his house. It costs $6.
It's against the law to buy or sell switchblade knives.
That's right. I broke the law.
Listen, you pulled a real bright trick here, and I suppose you tell us what you proved? Maybe there are 10 knives like that. So what?
Maybe they are.
So what does that mean? It's the same kind of knife. So what's that, the discovery of the age or something?
It would still be an incredible coincidence for another person to have stabbed her father with the same kind of knife.
That's right, he's right.
Does that mean to one? It's possible.
But not very probable.
Alright, calm down. There's no point in going over this.
It's interesting he had found a knife exactly like the one the boy bought.
What's interesting? Do you think it proves anything?
Well, no, I was just...
Interesting. Listen, how come the boy bought the knife to begin with?
Well, he said that he bought the knife
I know, he claims he bought it as a present for a friend of his. He was gonna give it to him the next day because he busted the other kid's knife dropping it on the pavement.
That's what he said. Balloony?
The friend did say that the boy broke his knife.
Yeah, and how long before the killing? 3 weeks, right? So how come our noble lad bought the knife 1/2 hour after his father smacked him and 3.5 hours before they found it shoved up to him in the father's chest?
Well, he was gonna give this knife to his friend. He was just going to use it for a minute.
Let me ask you this. If the boy bought the knife to use on his father, how come he showed what was going to be the murder weapon to 3 friends of his just a couple of hours before the killing?
Listen, all of this is just talk. The boy lied, and you know it.
He may have lied. Do you think he lied?
Oh, that's a stupid question. Sure, he lied.
Do you?
You don't need to ask me that. You know my answer. He lied.
Do you think he lied?
I think maybe he was just...
Maybe. Now wait a second. What are you, the kid's lawyer or something? Who do you think you are to start cross-examining us?
Isn't that what's supposed to happen in the jury room?
Listen, there are still 11 of us in here who think he's guilty.
Yeah? What do you think you're gonna accomplish? You're not gonna change anybody's mind. So if you want to be stubborn and hang his jury, go ahead. The killer be found guilty, sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
So, what are you gonna do about it? We can be here all night.
It's only one night. The boy may die.
Rather. Anybody get a cold card? I don't think you ought to make a joke about it.
What do you want me to do?
Now listen, I don't see what all this stuff with the knife has to do with anything. Someone saw the kid stab his father. What else do we need? I got 3 garages of mine going to pot while we're talking, so let's get done and get out of here.
The knife was very important to district attorney. He spent whole morning...
He's the 15th assistant or something. What does he know?
Okay, we ought to get on with it now. These side arguments only slows us down.
You're the only one.
I have a proposition to make to all of you. I want to call for a vote. I'd like you to vote by secret written ballot. I'll abstain. If there are still 11 votes for guilty, we'll take a guilty verdict into the judge right now. But if anyone votes not guilty, we'll stay and talk this thing out. Well, that's all. If you want to try it, I'm ready.
Well, finally, you're behaving like a reasonable person.
Okay, let's do it.
That sounds fair. Anyone doesn't agree? Alright. Pass this along. Guilty. 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 Not guilty. Guilty.
Oh boy, how do you like that?
And another chap flips his goddamn wig.
Alright, who was it? Come on, I want to know.
Excuse me, this was a secret ballot. We agree on this.
What do you mean secret? There are no secrets in a jury room. I know who it was. Brother, you're really something. You come in here and you vote guilty like everybody else. And then this golden voice preacher over here starts to tear your heart out with stories about a poor little kid who just couldn't help becoming a murderer. And you change your vote? That is the most sickening. Why didn't you drop a quarter in his collection box?
What'd she get to write a shout out?
She's very excitable, forget it.
Too bad I'm excitable. We're trying to put a guilty man into the chair where he belongs. And all of a sudden somebody's telling us fairy tales and we're listening?
Take it easy.
What do you mean, take it easy? Do you feel like seeing a proven murderer walk the streets? Why don't we give him his knife back? Make it easier for him.
Alright, let's stop the yelling. Who's got something constructive to say?
Please, I would like to say something here. I have always thought that in this country, a man was entitled to have unpopular opinions.
Let's stick to this subject. What made you change your vote?
He didn't change his vote. I did. Would you like me to tell you why?
No, I wouldn't like you to hear me, right?
Well, I'd like to make it clear anyway, if you don't mind.
Don't you have to listen to this?
Hey, look, the man wants to talk.
Thank you. This lady here has been standing alone against us. She doesn't say that the boy is not guilty. She isn't sure. It's not easy to stand alone against the ridicule of others. She gambled for support and I gave it to her. Respect her motives. Now the boy on trial is probably guilty, but I want to hear more. For the time being, the vote is 10-2. Hey, I'm talking here.
She can't hear you. She never will.
Well, if the speech is over, maybe we can go on.
I think we ought to take a break. One woman's inside, we should wait for her.